This is similar to the other one I got. Very.
Was it tenor or
tenor.
concert?
That was a tenor. This is tenor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I suppose your Japanese friend knows Kayama Yuzo. He came to our shop last week. And one of his walking around town, stopping into shops.
Oh yes, he has a program.
But of course he doesn't stop in at random. He calls ahead, and so you know he's coming. But the first question he asked when he came in the door was, "Oh my God, is this a museum or a shop?" And I said, "That's a question I like to hear."
Now, what I want to look at is the Kanilea mango.
Okay.
We'll just start as we mean to go on. Interesting. The other Kanilea I got from you, how do you say? Is it Kuipo?
Ku'uipo. There's a hiccup in it because it's Hawaiian. So the apostrophe is like a hiccup. Ku'uipo.
Just.
It means sweetheart. I think they put a little more effort into their custom series, you know? Not just in the woods, but the construction too. Because we only get the custom series ones here because there are other shops that carry the regular Kanileas, and we don't have enough room to have all their models, so we just carry a few choice ones.
Well, I played it, pretty much tried a whole bunch of things, and that one I thought was just stunning.
Yeah. Mango wood is not so popular in Japan as a ukulele material yet. So that's probably the only reason why this one has remained in the shop as long as it has. Mango's like off the map, so to speak.
Well, it's a bit
Most people want koa, and if they don't want koa, they want mahogany. But mango, they just don't even think of it as an ukulele material. Sounds like country.
Nice.
Did you study country banjo picking or something? It sounds almost like a bluegrass picking the way you do it.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I sometimes go to the local ukulele clubs and somebody says, "Guess who this is?" And they'll play the same chord sequence and the same strumming that I do before each video, and everybody laughs and says, "Oh yeah."
Hey, but they recognize you. That's the thing.
Well, yeah.
Let's have a look at the Shimo then.
I'm gonna say the Ukulele Mania Custom, which he made specially for us.
Right.
But that's it's a pretty high ticket one there. So we just wanted to give the impression that your eyes are playing tricks on you.
God almighty.
I actually designed this on paper, and then Shimo realized it. And because our logo is red, I wanted red trim. And as far as I know, it's the first ukulele that has red dot marks.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Shimo likes comets, and that was his theme for last year.
Okay.
So he usually puts a comet on the headstock. So I said, okay, if you really want to put a comet, put it on the 12th fret.
Yeah.
So for reference. But the idea was that the headstock's going one way, and then the fretboard's going the other way, and then the sound hole's going the other way, and then the body itself is... And look at this. This is hand carved from ebony. The whole thing. It looks like a surfboard. One of the things about this is it looks awkward. No, I think he uses curly koa on his necks. Okay. He's one of the few makers that still makes all koa necks. The funny thing is that it looks awkward, but the lower bout is actually so big you can actually rest it on your
Yeah.
leg like a guitar, and it's very comfortable. And your little finger goes right in that little
Nice.
slot there, and it's really the most comfortable thing to play. It also has a oh, here, let me get that.
A lot heavier neck as well.
Well, it also has a rather heavy body because there's actually a pickup in there with a 9-volt battery. It just sounds awesome, but it hasn't really got that much play time because most people are intimidated by it.
Yeah.
You know, we really like people to try out the ukuleles, and that's why we don't have any background music. Almost every music shop in Japan has really loud background music, usually rock and roll, and you can't hear an ukulele over it, which I think is kind of silly.
Can I have a look at one of the other ones?
This is called the New Surf,
Okay.
and this has a slightly radical body. I'll just give you that and you can tune it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The reason this one is so heavy is mostly because of the pickup, which it has a separate volume and tone controls inside the sound hole.
What pickups are you using on this?
This is called a D-tar, D-TAR, and they have the preamp in it, so it has a lot of controllability inside the sound hole, which is nice, but it does have a rather heavy battery. So that's the trade-off when you get an active pickup.
Yeah.
Most of the pickups we put in are passive types, but that means you can't do any adjusting on the instrument itself.
Yeah. What do you think do you know the Bags pickups?
LR Bags 5.0 is
Yeah.
probably the most common active one that we install.
Yeah, that's
We
what
have that right here in the middle. You can see it right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking, I've got somebody building me something in the UK where they're putting I've said put a Bags in.
Those are really good if you like the active type, and as I said, you do have the trade-off with you lose a little bit of the acoustic sound, and you have a little more weight, but this one has no pickup as of yet. Have you seen the new D'Addario tuners?
No.
It's a mini. You just clip it on the back like this, and then it has a little switch that reverses the letters. So if they're right side up this way, or you could put it on top and then the letters are right side up that way too. One of the guys doing a workshop at our shop, we have one workshop every month, and a guy doing our workshop had one of those, and he says, and check out this new tuner I have, and then I jokingly got a little, I said, what's it called? The next week we had them. Iwao-san. Shimo makes a lot of ukuleles for this guy, and they promote each other. And anyway, so the original surf was made for Iwao-san, and then this is sort of a variation of
Nice. So nice.
He also, the Shimo 5-string was originally made for Iwao. It has a switching high and low G. So you can literally in 1 second change from high G to low G tuning. This one is made entirely of Honduras mahogany, including the neck. And
It's nice.
it has Shimo's own invention. This little clip here on the fretboard mutes the high G or the low G. So even as you're playing, you can just like pop that under there and do only low G tuning or only high G tuning. Yeah.
Let's have a look at that. These are nice. Yeah, it's. I find all instruments fascinating. In that some just you immediately go, that's great, and others you go, oh, it's all right. It's like there's a definite.
Most of Shimo's are of the oh my god type.
Yeah, well,
thing.
without sounding too sort of. I'm really interested in just the best sounding instruments. That's why I started looking at the Collins ones. And I've got some of Bill's guitars, which are just amazing.
Well, Shimo's not only look amazing, but they sound amazing. I don't know how he does it, but he gets ukuleles that have the depth and the sustain of a guitar. And even though his bodies are kind of small too. I mean, this is a tenor, but the body is almost like concert size. Okay, so now you're going on a boat. You're playing both, so it's like a 6-string ukulele. But if you pop that under, then you've got low G tuning.
This is a nice instrument. See, I prefer this to that.
Well, it's totally different.
Different.
You know? This is mahogany. This is koa, and that's mahogany. It's Honduras mahogany too, which is hard to get anymore. The headstock and the heel plate are made of paisley mahogany. I've never heard of it before. Oh yeah, all around the world. Of course, Japan and Hawaii are probably the most of the ukuleles are from there, but we also have some from solo makers in mainland United States, and well, we follow all the auctions from all over the world actually.
Oh, so some of them are made in Japan.
Oh yeah, sure. There's some very good. The ones he's playing now are made in Japan by a guy called Shimo. And he's quite a character. He visited our shop. This is his self-portrait here. He's got another one in the works for us that will be finished in about fall. He has about a 2-year wait list. But his next one for us is going to have diagonal frets. Have you ever seen fan frets? Fan frets are funny because they look awkward, but they're actually quite easy because your finger normally goes at kind of an angle as you reach the higher frets.
Yeah.
And so it's really comfortable. But it's got the kind of thing that looks like it will be hard to play. But it's surprisingly easy, especially because of the radius fretboard. But nobody I know makes fan frets, let alone radius fan frets.
That's a favourite
You can see it from the bottom.
Undoubtedly the most expensive so far, which is usually what happens.
Of course, that's what happens to me too. Sometimes customers say to me, "Why is it that all the manager's recommendation ukuleles are expensive?" And I say, "Because those are the ones I like." Not because those are the ones I want to sell. They're almost the ones I don't want to sell. But the upper wall area is kind of like the museum
That's
part.
the museum. I was admiring
Most of those are not for sale.
Is that an armadillo or something?
It is a real armadillo. You can't get those anymore. You notice how it's bald on top? That's because it used to be displayed upside down, and everybody wanted to touch it. So now I say, please don't pet the armadillo. Especially Japanese girls, for some reason, they want to get over their fear of these. They feel like they have to,
confront their demon.
Confront their fears and touch the armadillo.
Yeah.
Could you play that so I can hear what it sounds like?
Sure.
From
That's the best part of my
feet
job.
Away.
Are you going to do your signature lick?
No, not now. Actually, I should be playing this with a high G, because this arrangement calls for a high G, so I just switched it to a high G.
That's the favourite so far. That's the favourite so far. Now the feathers.
Yeah, you can hear
It's
the difference.
interesting. I've got a Koa Collins and the Kanilea, and I love them, but I tend to go back to mahogany. Very nice though. This is favourite. God,
Well, there's a Japanese
so
proverb.
that one's a
There's a Japanese proverb that
298.
says "Tade kumushi no skizuki," which means some bugs like to eat bitter plants. It's something like the French, "Chacun son goût," to each his own taste.
Yeah.
Basically, it's saying no matter how bitter the weed, there's some bugs that will eat it.
Yeah. So have we gone through the Shimos?
Those are the only 3 Shimos we have. They're pretty hard to get.
And this is. I'm very interested with the fact that this will allow you to do a low G and a high G.
There are only 3 of these in existence in the world so far, and one of them belongs to Iwao.
Right.
And
So
2 of them were sold in our shop. One's already been sold, yeah. Each one is a little bit different, though. The other one was not Honduras mahogany.
Is there anything else you would recommend me look at?
Well, we don't have any ukuleles that I don't recommend, but so if you like mahogany, I would say the best-selling mahogany tenor I've ever heard is this one, and it just came out. It's a limited edition from Iz. Do you know Iz?
Yes. Yes.
Kamakawiwa Ole. It's very hard to say. Iz Kamakawiwa Ole died about 4 or 5 years ago, basically because he weighed as much as a sumo wrestler.
Okay. Blimey.
These are a limited edition, and look at the inlay. Look at that.
Nice.
Did you ever see shell like that? It's just like pink and green and everything. This is one of the loudest and longest sustain I've ever heard on a mahogany tenor. It's called what's it called? Ribbon mahogany or something? It's like a figured mahogany. And these, of course, are peghead tuners, not wood. They're 4-to-1 geared tuners. If you want to buy, I think if you want to buy electronics online, that's great. But if you want to buy musical instruments, you better buy them from somebody you trust, because they're all different. Isn't that awesome?
It's the first Martin I've ever played that I really liked. You always go, Martin, same with guitars. And I go, oh.
It's the first new Martin that I've heard that sounds as good as the vintage ones. As you know, between 1970 and 2000, Martin stopped making ukuleles, despite the fact that ukuleles kept them from going under in the Depression. Their guitars were saved by the ukulele. But then, anyway, they quit, and by the time they started making ukuleles again in 2000, all their ukulele makers had died. But this is, I'm not sure exactly, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure how many they're making of these. But this is like 190 something. Now
you see, I'm conflicted.
They're signed, well, you said what else? I mean, I could have said, oh, there's nothing else you'd be interested in. And that makes your decision easy, wouldn't it?
It's very nice. That is nice.
Yeah, that's a special instrument. I had to direct import this because we couldn't get these in Japan. last week we sold a Martin 5K Style 5 tenor with the Tree of Life inlay on the. Oh, that was an awesome instrument. Unfortunately, I cannot show it to you. It's gone.
This is nice.
Yeah, that's special.
See, part of me is I'll not see one of these again.
Neither will we, probably. At least not for a couple of years. The next one, like I said, is the slant fret, and I'm not sure what we're getting after that. I don't know, actually. I know there's about a 2-year wait list to get one, and I would guess about 20, but I really never asked him that.
So, God, do I even want to do the calculation? 298,000.
I have a calculator if you want to use it.
Is gonna be.
Actually, I have a calculator on my computer. On the Mac, they have like a.
The other thing I find fascinating is I've been playing around with strings. There's a huge variation.
Oh yeah.
For
$10, you can change your whole ukulele.
Literally. I've gone through Aquila, very. I really like Aquila. Aquila Reds, I've tried, which I quite like.
We don't have those, but
which are a bit obscure. There's on the Kanilea I got from you. They had the set that they came with was just great.
This would be at the current mid rate. It's hooked it into that, so.
That's it. Christmas is cancelled.
That you can only get this one is the ukulele playing Hello Kitty, and then that's the surfing Hello Kitty.
Well, as long as it's not like $30,000.
No, it's not that much. I'm going to check on the stock list. But those are only sold in Hawaii, and they're only sold in a limited edition. When they're sold out, they're sold out. So I actually had to get those online because they don't sell them in Japan.
Wow.
Even though Hello Kitty is